Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Cindy.
And we're here with another feeding frenzy for A Course in Weight Loss. And we are ready for Chapter 11. This one took a little bit more work, however.
It did. Because we have to involve other people.
What are we involving other people in?
Well, one of them is to be our inspirer. And the other is to be our, what was it? Do you remember? Permitter?
Permitter.
Yeah. Yes. And so, since we have to get other people involved, we have contacted them and have made an appointment, but we're not there yet.
Right.
But we're going to move on to the next lesson,
right.
And we'll come back to this one once we get that done.
That one, because we had to involve other people, we can't just do overnight, just like we don't expect anybody else to be able to do that.
Right.
But
I believe she even says, you may not be able to do this right away.
Right.
You may want to wait on it.
Right.
So, we don't want to wait on it, but we have to wait.
Right, we don't want to hold you up in your journey. So we're going to move on. We are still going to do it, and we will either film it or tell you about it, one of the two.
Right. So what did you think about it, though?
I thought it was a great idea. It is, for me, it's formalizing my agreement with myself, involving it in a ritual, and those things that we consider to be deeply important to us, we usually have some kind of ritual around.
Sure.
Whether it be baptism or christening our children or a marriage or a graduation or something of that matter, anything that means some kind of importance to us, a birthday party,
Right.
We have some kind of ritual surrounding it. And so I thought it was an excellent idea to make this commitment to ourselves, to the birthing of this new being, a ritual. And having a celebration around it. I thought that was a good idea. What about you?
Yeah. I mean, when you first read it, I was like, I don't want to do this. This is stupid. But, okay. I see.
Well, it did lead me to wonder what was going to happen with the fruit.
Yeah.
And now we know.
Now we know. Yeah. So, I don't know. My jury's still out. I'll let you know after we get done.
Okay. Well, that's fair.
I'm dreading it. I don't.
Well, you're not one for birthday parties anyway. So we'll forgive you on this one. So, for your viewing pleasure, I guess, and because we had such a great time listening to Mallory and her take on things, we have invited my daughter, Emily, to be with us here today, and we want to hear what you've got to say about your body and the pressures that you feel, and just what this experience is like for you.
Going through the book and everything, like the 10-day thing.
Let's start out with the 10-day challenge.
10 day.
What was
we
that
know
like?
you haven't been through the book.
Yeah. Sorry.
What was the 10-day challenge like for you?
The 10-day challenge for me, I was already out of chocolate by then, so that was kind of really bad. But I enjoyed it. It was strictly fruits and vegetables and meat, and I am a carnivore, so I love meat. I love fruits and I love vegetables, and we had something that every one of us liked every night, so it wasn't a hard thing to do. It was just a healthier lifestyle, a healthier meal plan, instead of having really bad for your body foods every night, like pizza rolls or something along that line. For me, the 10-day challenge was an eye-opener, I'd say.
In what way?
In the way of going from eating a whole lot of really, really bad things to not jumping, but taking baby steps, I would say. And up to the 10-day challenge was taking baby steps into going into a healthier lifestyle of eating instead of doing all of the bad stuff. So,
was it a hard switch?
Because all the foods that I ate during that time period I already liked. There wasn't really anything.
Except, talk to me about fish.
Yeah, the fish. In 8th grade, I made that promise to never eat fish. I broke that promise. And it was tolerable, but the texture was what bothered me. And the smell too. it was not my cup of tea,
Mm-hmm.
obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never really liked fish anyways.
So were you glad when the 10-day challenge was over?
Yes and no. Yes, because then I was able to eat chocolate and not feel guilty, even though I never got any more.
Did you feel guilty on the challenge if you wanted to eat chocolate?
A little bit, because then I felt like I was violating the promise that I made to myself to
So did
stick
you eat
with
chocolate while you were on the
No. I didn't have any, so I couldn't.
I got her. You thought you got her there, didn't you?
Otherwise, there would have been very big temptations if I did have some. But I didn't have any, so I really didn't have a choice not to. Like, I had 4 pieces of bread, but then I was like, I don't need all this. So then I put 3 pieces of bread back, and I had the 1 piece. I think she had 2.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, she had mentioned an omelet before, but I didn't feel like eating it.
Mm-hmm.
So then I decided to go with that, and then she asked me a question, and it just led from there, and I was like...
So it's making you think about your choices.
Yeah, it's making me think a lot.
Does it help having somebody about your age to go through it with?
Yeah, it does. Because then it's not... I don't know, no offense, but it's not adults telling you have to eat this because this is what we're going to have, you have to stick with it. If you don't want to eat it, then too bad for you, it sucks for you. It's,
I don't really say that, do I?
Oh, no, you don't.
Okay, thank you.
You don't, but...
but that's the way you take it.
But whenever you're a kid and you're just, and like, especially with Brady, like, he doesn't like most of the things in the world. So he's gonna have to deal with it eventually.
Yeah.
So, like, I've started to eat salads more. Like, I made one during the 10-day, 1 or 2 during the 10-day.
Mm-hmm.
And they were pretty good. I like them. But that was mainly because there was chicken in it. Baked chicken. Baked chicken was really good. But because it was in there, I like to add as much good flavor I can to a salad, which is grass. But in leaves.
Right.
In leaves. So...
Alright, talk to us about exercise. What's that been like?
Well, right now I'm really sore.
Still?
Yeah.
Wow.
But with the exercise, it has helped me because I have lost a few pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I have gotten the experience of not just, like, whenever, especially when I was little, I used to tell myself, like, especially during 7th grade, when I was just starting at Southbourne, they had the 2 stories, and I was like literally, it was either 7th or 8th grade, every other class was up, down, up, down, up, down, up,
The
down.
stairs.
The stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, I was telling myself, I was like, I'm running up and down these stairs all the time. And I'm burning off calories, and I'm going to lose some weight, and I'm going to do this. And I was putting these ideas in my head. And whenever we were walking at Karaoke during the summer, last summer, I kept telling myself, like, I was getting in 3 miles when y'all were doing 2. And I was just like, I'm zooming through this stuff. I'm doing really good for my body. Mm-hmm. But then I was going home, and I was eating the stuff just off the bat so I would save time and not have to worry about, okay, is this healthy for me? And if it is healthy for me, it's going to take a really long time to cook, and then I'm not going to be able to do my homework, and I'm not going to be able to do this, and be able to sleep as long as I would like to. And so I was eating really bad things, and all of the other stuff wasn't counteracting it and giving it away. It was just a filler, in my opinion.
So can you tell the difference in this exercise and the exercise you were doing now?
Yes.
The stairs.
A definite, yeah. I mean...
You feel like this is better or worse?
Better. Because it's more of a workout and more burning calories and getting off pounds and losing the weight also with the whole food thing. And I've always told myself I don't like the word diet. That just does not suit me very well. So I like to think of it as a healthier plan instead of saying a diet, because whenever I think of people going on diets, they're just like, I'm cutting out everything. I'm never going to eat it again. I'm only eating leaves and fruit, and I'm not going to go back. And I don't want to do that because I like food too much to do that.
Yeah.
So, and my entire life was based on chocolate, so I cannot give up chocolate. So there's going to have to be, like, not set times, but there's going to be periodic times where occasionally I'll have this, that, or the other thing, just as to say to myself, you're still not giving this up. You're just telling yourself that you can have them every once in a while, but not constantly, so you can get off this weight and you can live a healthier lifestyle.
When did weight start to matter to you?
Probably 7th grade, because that was whenever it was in the big leagues. I was going into a very larger variety of people, where there were people coming in from this direction, from all kinds of schools.
So you went to a larger school.
I went to a larger school. It was all random people that I'd never met before. I got self-conscious, and I started worrying. I was like, what are people going to think of me? How am I going to come across to them? Are they going to think that I'm an overeater, that I'm fat, I'm overweight? Are they going to look at me weird? Just things like that. And then that's when I started thinking about, like, I'm rolling this backpack and bringing it up the stairs all the time, so I'm basically lifting weights all the time, and things like that I kept getting in my head.
So did that make you feel better, that you were getting some exercise?
That I felt like I was getting exercise, that I was lifting my locker in a bag up and down the stairs.
Well, you were, really, yeah.
There was
right, but as David says, you can't outwork a bad diet.
And that's true. That's what I realized whenever I met David and everything. Then I started to realize I've been telling myself that I'm doing this stuff and I'm doing good to my body, but then I'm going home and eating crap, and it's not doing anything for me.
So does David help having him there? Why?
He's not one of the personal trainers who's big and buff and knows everything and who will get on you like, get on the floor, do this now, like on you.
He's not a drill sergeant.
He's not a drill sergeant from the Marines or something. He's one of us.
You've got a pretty bad case of scoliosis. Has that kept you from doing a lot of things? Or have you found ways to do it?
To be honest, I've always found myself a very determined person. And especially last time we went, whenever you were sick, whenever we laid on the floor a lot, with, like, a little bit before, a couple hours before, my back started hurting up here, where it is curved up here.
Yeah.
And when I started laying down on the floor and doing the whole leg lifts and up and downs and everything, it was putting pressure on that point, and it was hurting a lot. So that's where the back pain came from. And with the leg lifting and everything, that's where my abs started hurting. So then they just conjoined, and it just created this ball of pain. But every time I walk in there and I start with the crunches are, like, easy for me. Because,
now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, earlier, I was like, is this even doing anything? I mean, it just looks like I'm bobbing my head up and down and doing nothing. But then I started, like, really thinking about it, and I was like, okay, let's do this, you know, and eventually it came really easy to me. I understood what I was doing, and I could do that part, and the extensions and the twists aren't that bad either, but then everything in the middle, it's just, like, you know, it's just overwhelming sometimes.
One of the things I really like about David is if he sees you struggling with something, he'll help you modify it. And he helps you modify it in the moment until you can get to the point where you can do the actual exercise. And I've had to do that myself. Does he do the same for you?
Not so far. Like, if it hurts a lot, then Mallory will probably notice, and she'll be like, get up off the floor and stop being an idiot. And then she'll go tell David, okay, this is not working for her. Blah,
Well,
blah,
then maybe that's where you need to speak
blah.
up. You know, because you know when you're in pain. You know? So it's working out for you to have someone walking you through the exercises. Good.
That way.
It's good stuff. Very good stuff. Thank you, Lou.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate your time. we appreciate your input too. It
Mhm.
helps us see where we need to go too.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Good.
Thanks.
Mhm.
It's really good
You're
stuff.
welcome.
Good stuff. Shrink.
Stream. Now you said
Shrink. Shrink.